Hey everybody, this is the Crossman Sports Talk Podcast. This is episode 11. How's everybody doing tonight? We're going to start off the evening with a little bit of breaking news that came through earlier this evening. It dropped around 3:30, 4 p.m. West Coast time. The Jacksonville Jaguars hired Urban Meyer to a coaching gig. Should be quite interesting. He's got a good track record, 3 national championships, and he's compiled a record of 187-32 with Bowling Green, Utah, Florida, and of course Ohio State. He'll be the 6th Jaguars coach in Jacksonville history. Really. So not a bad thing. So is this a good fit, Brian?
Hard to tell right now. I mean, there's not been many successful college coaches to don the pro ranks. I've heard that his way of coaching is a lot like Pete Carroll. So if there's anybody else that can do it, I'd put my money on Urban Meyer making it.
Yeah, it's a good grab because it came out yesterday about LA going after him too.
Yeah, not to mention, he's going to have all the money in the world. Their Jaguars are crazy under the cap. Plus, they got the first pick in the draft. So, he's going to have a lot of tools to work with. So, give him a few years. I would bank on him being successful. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I like it. Pat, good fit?
Yeah, I think so. He's a good coach. Jaguars needed a, big change in the organization, and it's worth a shot. He's successful in the college ranks, so we'll see what happens.
You like it, guy?
Yeah, I think it was good. I think they needed somebody like him to help that team out, and especially with all the stuff they have, all the picks and money. I think he'll do good.
Yeah,
no matter what happens.
I agree. And so to go from a hiring to a firing, this past Tuesday, the Philadelphia Eagles got rid of Doug Peterson, 5th season. He was 42-37 with all 5 seasons, and this season 4-11-1. There was rumors prior to Week 17 of him being fine going into the next season, but they said his decision making and that end of that game in Week 17 with pulling out and just the whole quarterback swap and everything in the fourth quarter just sealed the deal.
I've heard some rumors, obviously, that it was more of a mutual deal because him and Carson Wentz's relationship was just fractured beyond repair, and Carson Wentz has got a lot of money coming to him. So, fire a coach, suck up all that money that Carson Wentz is going to have. Nobody's going to want to trade for that contract.
Yeah.
I think it was a mutual parting, in all honesty, but he's out there. Maybe he goes to the college ranks. Maybe he takes an OC job in the pros. Who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but yeah, they pulled his ass in there and just wasn't following what they wanted.
Maybe he can come back to.
You know what? You're fired. Okay, you didn't follow proto.
They're not following proto, so they fired his ass.
Maybe he can come back to from where he's from, huh?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Come back and be the Seahawks OC.
You never know. I read some stuff.
He's from Ferndale.
There was some stuff out there about him possibly coming on down, and it's gonna be something.
I hear he's one of the 11 candidates, so we'll see.
They got 11.
11. Well, 10 now. That guy from Clemson came out and said he's staying at Clemson.
Okay, well, we'll
So
see.
we shall see.
Yeah, so that was in regards to head coach firings. We'll talk about another firing here in just a second. But a quick update. There was, we talked last week about all the stuff with Deshaun Watson and being unhappy in Houston with everything with the GM pick and everything. And then they went over his head. They hired a different guy. And now there's rumors of him being traded out of Houston.
To Miami.
Miami's came up. New England's name has been thrown out there, and even San Francisco's name is out there.
And Chicago, too.
Chicago,
man. Chicago, yay.
I definitely don't want the Niners to get Deshaun Watson.
No, please
Not
no.
at all. I hope they don't get him.
How's the Niners with the salary cap this year?
They're hurting too.
They are.
Yeah,
Big time.
they're not as bad a shape as Philly or New
Kansas
Orleans,
City.
but they're right there. They're hurting. But I think a lot of what might cure their salary cap is dumping Garoppolo. I think that might get it done because he's got a lot of money coming to him.
Did they pay
He's
him?
a big hit against the cap this year. Yeah, they paid him a lot of money.
Yeah, but isn't he in the same situation as like Philly with Wentz?
Not his contract is constructed a lot different.
Oh, it is.
A lot different than Wentz.
Okay.
But he's a big. If they dump him before the what is it? The late March deadline, that they can save money.
Well, how much
They can
is
save it.
How much is his contract?
I don't know exact numbers, but I know he's owed a lot of money this year. But if they dump him before the March deadline, I believe that they can clear a lot of cap space. But that's a big if. I mean, who knows? They got a lot of other problems. But just besides that, they got a lot of free agent. They have no defensive backfield coming back. Sherm said he's not coming back.
Does he still want to play?
He still wants to play, but he doesn't see it being with the Niners because the Niners of their salary cap issues. He doesn't see getting paid.
Is he still looking to get big money?
I don't know if he can.
Not the way.
I mean, his contract with the Niners was so incentive laden. He had a lot of incentives in there. How he made his money this year. He banked on himself pretty much. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, because a lot of people were surprised after everything went down in Seattle, and he just goes and signs something kind of weak.
He did his own deal. He didn't have an agent.
I just think also the reason why a lot of people won't give him a deal is because ever since he tore his Achilles in Seattle and then left the next year to go to the Niners, don't think he's been the same.
No, he's been injury prone, definitely. Definitely, that shit takes a toll on you.
Sucks the ID.
Yeah, well, he's a big mouth anyways. Good riddance, you turd.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Things are gonna get shaken up, and this offseason is gonna get pretty interesting with salary cap issues. And I know, like, I read an article today about New Orleans.
They're hurting in a bad
What they
way.
have to do to get rid of a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Really?
New Orleans is there, and they even talk about like Seattle. They talk about all the playoff teams, and like I guess Seattle right now they're going to be 15 million under the cap, but they got to sign Jamal Adams, and they think he's going to get probably around 16. They got to sign Griffin, and that's going to be a top deal too.
But when you do deals like that, it opens up cap space.
Yeah, they're talking about restructure, like they can just restructure like Jerron Reed and just things like that to open some space up. And
Well, I mean, you look at what what the fuck, Mahomes. None of his salary from this year went towards the cap. That's how they were able to re-sign Chris Jones and keep all their guys, because they structured his contract where it didn't hit at all on the cap this year, or a minimal amount. His doesn't start hitting the cap for like another 2 years.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, I mean, rumor is that the salary cap's going to go down about 15 million from where it normally is. In most years, it would go up 5 to 10. And they say it's going to drop 10 to 15 this year. And we're 15 under now. Imagine where we would have been if they would have kept the cap the same or raised it $5 to $10 million. We would have been golden. But John Clayton's hearing that there's not going to be a lot of big money floating around this year. You're going to see a lot of guys signing 1-year deals.
And wait until everything clears up and the cap goes back up to sign a long-term deal.
Until everything's back to normal. You're going to see a lot of guys signing smaller deals.
makes sense.
I think Chris Carson leaves. Honestly, I don't know if we have. Even if we franchise tag him, I still don't know.
Yeah, I don't see Carson coming back. He dumped Russell Wilson and the Seahawks off his Instagram.
Oh boy.
So what are you going to do? Depend on Hyde and Penny? And Penny's
I'd say they go in the draft. I mean, there's a lot of running backs in the draft this year.
Are there this
year?
I say they go with somebody like Najee Harris or Chuba Hubbard or somebody like that.
Travis Etienne. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of running backs this year. And look, I mean, where did we find Carson? 7th round. I mean, we get all, they've always done pretty well with running backs, late in rounds. So,
Sure.
And running backs are a dime a dozen in the NFL anymore, and they don't get paid like they used to. And you very rarely see running backs go in the top 20 of the draft anymore, So, do I want to see Carson go? No, but I don't I see him drafting and hoping Penny's healthier than he was this year. Obviously, he's coming back from the knee injury, but I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe also using DJ Dallas a lot more in the backfield.
Yeah, we got the guys. We do, but I don't see either one of them or Homer being a number one guy.
No.
They're a piece. They're definitely a piece to the puzzle, but I don't see him being a main piece.
It's going to be a very interesting offseason for all the teams, and I'm just curious how it works itself out.
Yeah.
And then other news for the NFL, I'm going to go and jump into what's up with the Cowboys. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Anyway, so the only thing, nothing really crazy, except for they got themselves a new defensive coordinator this week. They hired Dan Quinn,
Yes.
former Atlanta Falcons coach,
Dirty
for
bastards.
Seattle defensive coordinator. He was the Seahawks coordinator in 2013-2014, which conveniently were the Super Bowl years, and went to the one Super Bowl to the next. So we'll see. He didn't do so well in Atlanta after they started off pretty good, and just they got rid of him this year, and he's now the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys.
And their offensive coordinator turned down the fucking Boise State job.
Yeah, but they said Kellen Moore is interviewing for Philadelphia.
I know. I heard.
So they got Kellen Moore going out for the Philadelphia.
So
job.
he must have caught wind that he was going to be up for some jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I'm not going to go to college right now, but Boise State, I heard, put a pretty package together to bring back their old quarterback.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and he turned it down. I mean, that's...
I think Quinn can make a difference. I mean, Cowboys have always had the talent. I think